Welcome everyone to year 4 of College Football Time with Avery Miguel. I am here with the very best Avery Jones. Avery, college football season is here. Football season in general is here.
Yes.
And are you surprised how fast has flown by?
Time has gone by so fast. It just shows how exciting it can get. It feels like we were just talking about, the college championship game, and then we were talking about, the Big 12, schedules, and now we are here, college football season 2025, and I am so excited. And what better way to open week 1 than, as it has been hyped, possibly the biggest season opener in college football history.
Yes, indeed. Fascinating matchups in week 1. There's two that sticks out to me the most, but there's one that we're going to talk about today. But before we get started, Lee Corso, the man who defined Mr. or I should call him Mr. College Game Day. Saturday mornings are not going to be the same without him. It's another piece of childhood or whatever you want to call it, memories that goes away.
Nostalgia. Nostalgia.
Yes, that's another one right there. Lee Corso. We don't know him personally, but sometimes when you see a person's reflection in their face, something tells you that that person strikes you as a person that has good character, that has humility, that brings a smile to people's face. And if you saw that video that he's sitting at a theater watching from the screen of everybody congratulating him and speak on what he means to them, that's an example of why being kind, being generous matters a lot. That really does matter a lot. For many people, they look at humility as being soft or that you don't have a backbone. You could be humble, you could be kind, but you know that doesn't mean that you don't have a backbone. You do got to have some backbone when it's necessary. But in his case, I mean, when you think about all the people's lives that he's touched, all the athletes that still connect with him to this day, like Tom Jackson, for example, who went to
Yes.
work with ESPN for so many years.
Yes.
And I miss
Yes.
Tom Jackson, him and Chris Berman
Oh,
together. NFL
absolutely.
primetime, I miss him. But the fact that, he took the time to, say good words to Lee Corso about what he meant to him during his college playing days says a lot. And you had so many people that honor him, Will Ferrell, so many
Charles
celebrities,
Barkley.
family, all of
Charles
them,
Barkley
so many,
absolutely
so
adores him.
many. So, I mean, I don't know who's gonna take his spot. You probably might know more, but it's been decades, years of seeing him on Saturday mornings, and it's the end of an era. He did have some health issues,
Yeah.
but hey, at some point we all gotta hang it up. That's just life. We all gotta hang it up at some point. Others will come in while others leave. That's just how life is. He has nothing left to prove. He's done it for so long. He brought smiles to so many people's faces on Saturday mornings. And so instead of being sad, everyone look at it as a celebration of life
Oh,
of Lee Corso. Go
absolutely.
ahead, Avery.
Absolutely. Lee Corso is like, for us, when we see someone as, a child or a teenager, and we continuously see them, it's almost like, if I could use the example, those of us that grew up with Sesame Street, it still kind of has that kid feel. And growing up and watching Lee Corso, especially when he does the headgear. So, of course, why not let his final college game day be where he started the tradition? Let it be at the Horseshoe. Let it be in Columbus. let it be with, Ohio State. But and of course the documentary that ESPN did, 10 out of 10. I mean, absolutely anyone who had ever interacted with Lee Corso over the course of College Game Day, and of course Lee Corso's college football history. He was a coach, he was a player, so he has that um, uh, drive and connection with other people as well. But the best meme I probably saw is the one with Splinter and the Baby Ninja Turtles, with Lee Corso as Splinter, and then you see Desmond Howard and Ken Herbstreit as Baby Turtles, and now because Lee Corso is retiring, now there is adults, and in a way you can think about that. Lee Corso, kind of was the dad, who kept the kids under control, and now those kids have grown up with him, and they're seeing him off. And it is sad, but also to have watched him for all these years as a college football fan, and for someone who has been working nights for a very long time, I can leave work late, I can be tired, but for some reason during college football season, I'm gonna wake up at 9 a.m. just to see all those gentlemen and see where they start their show. And for the rest of the season, it's gonna be tough waking up and missing Coach Corso, but what else can you say about someone as iconic as Coach Lee Corso? So it's wonderful. That's why I kind of said we got to start this season about Lee Corso. But yes, he is an icon. He is amazing, and he is college football.
Enough said. Enough said. Avery, Texas versus Ohio State, week one. Number one, Texas versus number three, Ohio State. Ohio State coming in to defend their belt, beating Notre Dame last year. Texas Longhorns, they're coming with a chip on their shoulder this season. What are your thoughts on Arch Manning?
I think even from the end of last season, everybody was excited to see what Archie Manning is going to do. And I think the fact that Texas is number one and Ohio State, the defending national champions, are three, it kind of shows that, of course, Texas has something to prove. And we talked about their game versus Arizona State. That was probably the best college playoff game right now. And that was just the first year of the college playoff. So having that great game, having players come back, having Archie Manning start, they have a lot of momentum. But Ohio State is looking at this and saying, hold on a second, we beat Notre Dame. We won the title. We have the belt. Here it is. Why the disrespect? But this is where Ohio State is going to prove themselves. And Archie Manning, he needs to be prepared for this game. He needs to be patient. He needs to not make any mistakes. Ohio State's defense is going to start right off the bat and run him ragged. If Texas gets the ball first, look for Ohio State's defense to blitz, to rush him, to make him hurry in any way, shape, or form. And if they can do that, Ohio State is going to take control. Archie Manning needs to know patience at this point. We've seen college football enough to know it's very fast paced, but Archie Manning needs to slow the game down in order to take control. And if he does that, he will be able to succeed. Just like they're touting this game as the biggest season opener, this is also possibly one of the closest kind of matchups in college football. Still, as of this morning, the spread is still only like 2 points. And as far as Texas is still the favorite, but only by like 53%. Like this, like people are still saying this is going to be a close game. And And for some reason, I believe it is. And what better way to start the season with like a really close football game that has playoff implications in week one?
Arch Manning, he needs to slow the game down and he needs to tune out the noise because given the fact the family that he's come from a family full of quarterbacks. Many people, without even knowing him, they think, you know what, this is nepotism, because of the last name, etc. So the minute that he screws up, there's going to be scrutiny heading towards his way, and that's unfair because he's in college, and this is the first game against Ohio State, but there's a lot of room for improvement. So it wouldn't surprise me if he struggled against this very good juggernaut of Ohio State, but it's not the end of the world if he struggles. I look at it as everything as growing pains. So he needs to approach this as growing pains, but um, as long as he has that support from his coaches, from the staff and everyone to, remind them, slow down, don't try to do too much, trust your teammates, and everything will be fine. So he needs to do that. As for Ohio State, once again, they're gonna come in, try to prove something. Ranked number 3, and they won it all last year. That's not good enough for them. So, and the fact that they will start the season at home, that crowd will be rocking. They'll be rocking, supporting their defending champs, and it's against Texas Longhorns, another very good team. So, I really hope this game lives up to the hype. I do not want to see a lopsided game. Hopefully, it's a close one. Who do I think will win this game? I'm gonna go with the Buckeyes. I can underestimate them. I have them winning this game 30-24.
I like that score. The over under, I believe, is about 49. And again, like I said, they have it as being close. I want this game to be close too. I don't want this game to be a blowout. I don't want the game like when Texas started their season with Michigan and just slapped Michigan around like they owed them money. So I'm I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna agree with you. Part of me, part of me for at least 2 weeks was like, I think Texas can do this. But there's something about the fact they're playing this in Columbus, they're playing it at the Horseshoe. Ohio State's got a chip on their shoulder. Like, we're the national champions, we should be number one. And I think that's going to fuel them. And I think how Ohio State is probably going to take this game is probably like a last second like interception. Like the Buckeyes are going to have the lead. Texas is going to try, with a last minute drive, but Ohio State is going to shut them down with, an interception. So, I like your score. I'm going to go just a tad lower. I'm going to go with Ohio State 28 and Texas 24. I think it's going to be high scoring. I think in the first half it's going to be like they're going to score like a total of 10 points total. I think it's going to start like one team's going to get a field goal, one's going to get another field goal, then, by the end of the first half, a touchdown, you know. But I think the second half is when it's going to get wide open. But I agree with you. I'm going to go with Ohio State again. Um, and I think it has to do with them being at home. If they're playing this in if they're playing this in Arlington, it would be Longhorns all the way. But I'm going with the Buckeyes on this one. And I hope it does live up to the hype. I hope it does live up to the hype because the first year of that 12-team playoff, we got some blowouts We got some noise of say certain teams shouldn't have been there, but we also got some really great games. And this first game could determine how even both these teams where they end up. And what better way to start this second year with a playoff format than Texas and Ohio State.
Indeed, and fair enough. Solid score. I usually like to see games ending with a touchdown than a field goal. There's something about games ending on a field goal that feels so anticlimactic, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I like touchdown more. It's more dramatic, especially if it's like I don't know, like I'm not well. There's just so many examples, but I just prefer touchdowns over field goal to end the game. When it comes to like a game winner, I prefer touchdowns. But that's football. And but yeah, I'll leave it right there. Um, Looking forward to this game, Texas versus Ohio State. There are other games that excites me, like Notre Dame versus Miami
Oh,
on
yes. Oh,
Sunday. The youth
absolutely.
is all about the youth.
Absolutely. And not only and believe it or not, of the games we saw, I was like, and this is also a Labor Day weekend, everybody please be safe this holiday weekend. And the fact
Yes.
that we have two games on Sunday, one in the afternoon and one in the evening, and that Sunday night game kind of gives like a pro football feel.
Yeah.
Notre Dame versus Miami. Miami is ranked 10th, which I'm sorry did surprise me a bit. Notre Dame is 6th, which surprised me as well. But I had this conversation with a colleague yesterday, and I've said it before, and I'm going to say it this year again. Notre Dame, depending on what happens this season, is going to have to beg a conference in the next couple of years
Yes.
to
Yes.
invite them.
Yep.
I don't care what people think. Notre Dame got lucky last year. And I'm not a Notre Dame hater. I'm quite a fan of Notre Dame. But Notre Dame has shot themselves in the foot for a while being independent. And I can
Yeah.
understand that when rankings were Notre Dame ranked. But now it is about the conference and it is about where you rank. So, Notre Dame, Fighting Irish. I have a friend that went to Notre Dame. I love him to death. We've been friends for like 30 years. He even agrees with me. And he doesn't follow college football like I do. Notre Dame fans, I'm sorry. And I'm going to go ahead and call it right now. In the next couple of years, Notre Dame is going to have to beg either the Big 10 or the Big 12 to be in that conference. And I'm sorry, they have to.
It's about time.
Especially how if they have a good season this year and they just barely scoot in again because of their rank, that's how they're gonna know. Because just like a YouTube creator I follow, because as an Alabama fan, SEC has not won a championship in probably like 17 years at this point. So, um, yeah, yeah. An analyst said it. If you want to win a national title now, it's probably going to be through the Big Ten. It's probably going to be through the Big Ten. So Notre Dame fans, might want to tell the school, hey, you're going to need a conference. You're right there in the thick of it. You're in South Bend, Indiana. You're right there. You have a choice. You have a choice. And that choice, and I'm calling it in the next couple of years, you're going to have to beg for a conference to take you. And Miami, if you want a good start to a season, beat Notre Dame. Upset Notre Dame, have a good start because once you start playing in conference, and I've seen Miami's ACC schedule, once you get into late September, October, is tough. So if you don't start the season well, once you start playing conference, it's not going to fly. And we've said it in college football as long as we've known each other, as long as we've been doing this, and even analysts and other commentators have said it. You have to win conference games. And if you are ranked, it is expected of you to win those games. So we said it last year. Those in conference games were going to make a difference, and it did. This year, they're definitely going to make a difference because that's how you're going to get into the playoff. And trust me, by late October, that's when we're going to see how this playoff is going to take shape. And by that point, we can still have our brackets and our what ifs and certain scenarios. But let me tell you, for the schools like SMU that slid in, for Clemson that won the ACC title, that got in, now it's everybody's ball game. And it's going to be great to see because let me tell you, now conference means everything.
Well, Avery, I'm gonna leave it right there. Great conversation with you, everyone. Thank you for tuning on this very first episode of Year 4 of College Football Time with Avery and Miguel. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please give a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. Enjoy week 1 of college football. We are excited. It's officially here, new season, and it's gonna be a thrill to do this with Avery every single week, give previews and post-game reactions from now, well, entering September, all the way to January. And listen, guys, we do this because we love it. We're passionate for it. No money can replace that. This is what we love to do. And we are thankful for every resources that we have in front of us that allow us to do this. So thank you to resources like Zoom, YouTube, etc. Because without that, we wouldn't be able to do this. So we're forever grateful. So yeah, but stick around for either Monday or Tuesday as we go and give our thoughts on any games that grabbed our attention this weekend. So again, have a great Labor Day weekend, everyone, with your loved ones, and enjoy college football. It's here, baby.
College football, what?